So one day, out of nowhere, Cartman shows up to school wearing a silk robe, sunglasses, and a giant gold medallion shaped like a wine bottle. I asked him what the hell he was doing, and he goes, "Stan, I've transcended. I'm a lifestyle brand now." And I'm like, "Okay, so you've officially lost it." And Cartman goes, "No, dude. Meghan Markle just sold out her entire wine collection in under an hour, and I'm about to do the same thing, but better and with less grapes." Then he pulls out this bottle of pink liquid he made at home using expired Capri Suns, cough syrup, and food coloring, and says, "Introducing Cartmé Rosé. It's disruptive. It's exclusive. It tastes like royalty if royalty ate Jolly Ranchers and smoked cigars." Kyle was like, "That's not wine, Cartman. That's illegal in 6 countries." And Kenny just muttered something under his hood that sounded like, "Pretty sure I drank that in a parking lot once." But Cartman didn't care. He had a new plan. He said he was going to sell out faster than Meghan Markle and become even more irrelevant. His words, not mine. So during lunch, Cartman sets up this janky little wine booth outside the cafeteria with a velvet rope and a sign that says "Buy Invite Only." It was just a folding table, a bunch of plastic bottles, and Butters in a clip-on bow tie saying, "Welcome to Cartmé Cellars, sir. We're already 92% sold out." I told Cartman this was the dumbest scam since that time he tried to sell NFTs made of bacon grease. And Cartman was like, "It's not a scam, Stan. It's hype-based inventory control. Meghan does it. Beyonce does it. Now I do it. I am the moment." Then he pulls out this fake waitlist written on a napkin and starts rejecting people like, "Sorry, Kyle, we're at capacity. You can apply again next quarter." Kyle snapped back, "Cartman, you're in a fucking playground. You're selling juice to children." And Cartman whispers, all serious, "Exactly. They're early adopters." Meanwhile, Wendy starts live streaming it, calling it South Park's sad descent into Rosé-archy, and people from all over town start showing up to see what the hell is going on. Even Mr. Garrison walked past, looked at the table, and just sighed, "Oh good, now we're normalizing alcohol in Cartman." And that's when I realized this was going to explode in the most Cartman way possible. So by third period, Cartman's rosé stunt has gone full psycho. He's walking around school with a Bluetooth headset yelling, "Close the deal, Kyle, and get me Barbra Streisand on line 1. Even though Kyle's not even helping, and Barbra Streisand's probably blocking his number. Then he starts handing out fake promo codes, like actual crayon drawings on Post-its that say, "Use code FANCYA for 1% off if you're hot." He even tries to sell a sommelier starter pack, which is literally just a wine glass, a glitter pen, and a scented candle that smells like Axe body spray and tuna salad. But here's where it gets weird. Some influencer chick from Denver who saw Wendy's live stream actually shows up and says she wants to collab with Cartman's brand. I told Cartman, "Dude, she has 2 million followers. She thinks this is a joke, right?" And Cartman goes, "Stan, this is what disruption looks like. First they laugh, then they drink, then they worship you." So Cartman tells Butters to throw a launch party at his mom's backyard. He calls it Cartchella, no live music, just a Bluetooth speaker playing wine ASMR, and Kenny trying to saber a bottle open with a butter knife. And yeah, the bottle exploded, glass everywhere. Kenny didn't even flinch, just mumbled, "Totally worth it," and kept drinking from a Ziploc bag. So the Denver influencer starts posting about the next big lifestyle disruptor, and boom. Cartman's site actually gets traffic. Not a ton, but enough for him to think he's basically Elon Musk with boobs. He launches a limited drop of 12 bottles. All 12 sell in 5 minutes. What he doesn't mention is, all 12 were bought by his mom. When I pointed that out, Cartman goes, "It doesn't matter who bought it, Stan. All that matters is it's sold out. That's prestige. That's legacy. That's Markle math." Then Wendy posts a video titled, "Exposing Cartman's Vino Scam," and it hits 200,000 views in a day. She interviews people who actually tasted the rosé, and one of them says it tastes like if Pepto-Bismol went to Burning Man. Cartman completely loses it. He calls an emergency press conference in the school library and shows up wearing a fur coat, sunglasses, and a tiara made out of bottle caps. He's like, "This is a witch hunt. I am being canceled for my brilliance. And Kyle goes, no, you're being canceled because your Rosé gave 3 kids pink diarrhea. But Cartman doubles down. He says he's flying to LA to meet Meghan Markle and pitch a merger as Cartmé Rosé, a wine collaboration between 2 disruptive royal icons. We thought he was joking, until he actually sneaks onto a Spirit Airlines flight using Kenny as a fake emotional support animal. So Cartman actually makes it to LA. Well, kinda. He ends up at a random As Ever pop-up in Glendale, which is just a pink tent with fake ivy walls, ring lights, and folding chairs that say things like, Glow Queen and Manifest This. He crashes the line screaming, I demand to speak to the Duchess. I have a crossover opportunity that will shake the wine world. Security thinks he's part of a TikTok prank. They let him in. And I swear, dude, he walks right up to Meghan Markle, well, a cardboard cutout of her, and starts pitching her like she's real. He's like, listen, Meghan, your wine has mystique. Mine has flavor. Together, we can dominate the luxury brunch market. Picture it as Ever Rosé with Cartmé crumbs. Back in South Park, the rest of us are watching it unfold on Wendy's Instagram livestream. The comments are brutal. Is this kid okay? Why does he sound like Elon if Elon ate pudding through a sock? Pretty sure this is a felony. Even Kenny turned to me and said, Murph, this is sad now. And that's when the tent collapses, literally. Cartman knocks over a ring light, the backdrop falls, and it turns out the entire As Ever pop-up was being filmed for a reality show called Influencer Rehab. They blur Cartman's face, but everyone still knows it's him because he keeps yelling, I'm a brand. So yeah, Cartman gets banned from Instagram, TikTok, and wine.com. His rosé empire tanks in under a week. Back at school, he tries to pivot again. Now he's selling NFTs of grapes. I told Cartman, dude, you don't even know what NFTs are. And Cartman goes, neither does Meghan, but she's still sold out. Meanwhile, Wendy drops a new video called The Rise and Fall of Cartmé, a Grape Misunderstanding. And Kyle does a PowerPoint presentation in class titled, Why Scarcity Marketing is Just Lying with Better Fonts. Even Mr. Garrison joins in. He's like, let's all give Cartman a round of applause for showing us how not to do business unless you're a member of the royal family or a sociopath. And Cartman's just sitting there, sipping leftover rosé from a juice box and muttering, I was ahead of my time. Then Kenny walks past, burps pink foam, and collapses into a recycling bin. I looked at Kyle, shrugged, and said, well, at least now we know if you're selling something that tastes like trash, you better slap a crown on it. And that's the story of how Cartman tried to become the Meghan Markle of wine and ended up banned from Costco. So yeah, if you thought that was insane, wait till you see what Cartman tries next week. Spoiler alert, it involves scented candles, conspiracy theories, and a fake baby. Seriously, hit that like button faster than Meghan sells out imaginary wine drops, and subscribe before Kyle writes a 40-slide PowerPoint about it. I'm Stan Marsh. Peace out. See you next scandal.